So after endless searching for a fragrance-free shampoo and conditioner that also keeps my hair silky soft, I finally found the brand Everest. They've definitely earned their reputation of skincare meets hair care or skincare for your scalp. So I want to get into why I think that these things are super different, or why this brand is super different on the market, and how come they work. So the first big difference is that Everless products are all waterless. That means instead of using water as a filler like most brands do, literally up to like 70% of a product's formulation is often water. Everest uses skincare ingredients like aloe vera and glycerin as the base of their formulas. So it makes it more hydrating and less just like stripping to the hair and to the scalp. And it also makes it better for the planet just because you're not using water as the base of your formula. So while they don't use sulfates or harsh surfactants, the shampoo actually lathers really well, even though it looks like it's a solid here. I'll go into that part in a second, but it totally lathers well if you use it correctly. You just need to add water and it turns into a soapy, sudsy, normal shampoo. I know some people think that these are actually like bar shampoos, but they're not. They're a cream product, which I'll show you in a bit. So I start with a small amount and I get it really wet in my hands before working it into my hair. For the best results with this product, because it's a concentrate, your scalp needs to be soaking wet, and I mean soaking wet. As a concentrate, it relies on the water of the shower to emulsify the ingredients and allow them to spread through your hair properly. So you need to make sure that your head is really wet, like dunk it under the water right before you add the shampoo to your scalp. And make sure your hands are really wet too. So I use a tiny bit first. I'll do like just a little pre-wash almost, because my first round never lathers too much. I think it's just because it's interacting with the oils on my head that are already there. But I use this tiny amount and then I will work it into my hands, starting to get it to lather before I even put it onto my scalp. And then I do a second round with more shampoo than the first time and I work it in. And if I feel like I'm starting to run out, then I'll just grab a little bit more. And I make sure to work it in to the top of my scalp, to the sides, like the sideburns, underneath at the nape of my neck, and work it all in. But I get plenty of bubbles from this and I get definitely a deep clean that doesn't strip my scalp. I also like to let it sit on my scalp for a couple of minutes in the shower just to make sure it's really getting in there. And again, I would do this for any shampoo that I use. This isn't specific to Everest, but just as a best practice, I like to let my shampoos sit on my scalp. So they say that they have a natural patented bond repair technology in their shampoo. They don't really go into detail about it on their website, unfortunately, so I don't have any other information, but I can say that my hair definitely feels stronger after using it. So I feel like that's probably working, but I don't actually know what that bond repair technology is. They also use rosemary oil and peppermint oil in their shampoo, which help just like stimulate blood flow to the scalp, which in turn helps stimulate thicker, stronger, denser hair. Next, I'll go in with their conditioner, and you can use this as a conditioner on its own, or you can leave it on as like a deep treatment mask for about 15 minutes. So this one is wetter or a little bit creamier than the shampoo formula. It still is a concentrate, so you still need to use water with this, but I don't get my hands super wet while applying this one. I just kind of scoop it out and run it through the lengths of my hair because it's not as solid as the shampoo is. I use a lot of conditioner, so I go through this tin a little bit faster than the shampoo, but that's honestly just to be expected with my length and my density. It might be different for you or it might be the same. So the way that I figure out how much I need to use is just making sure that my hair feels coated and like slippery from about my jaw down, and then I'll let it sit. So I will take a couple different like blobs of this and work it through my hair, just making sure that all of it feels soft and silky. And then I will let it sit, and then I'll run through it with a wide tooth comb while the conditioner is still in my hair to detangle. If you want a little bit more help, they also have a dedicated tutorials page on their website, which I will link below. They also have this jelly-like UV oil. So it is a UV protecting oil serum for the ends of your hair. And then they also have a scalp serum. I am dying to try both of those, but particularly the UV oil because I live in the desert and I like to keep my ends really sealed, really soft because it is so dry here. The product I was using before that I absolutely love, I can't use it anymore, I'll get into that in a second, but the Evolve Super Finish Polishing Balm, which is also kind of a jelly texture, and that really silkens the hair. It protects it. You can use it wet or dry, but it has too much fragrance for my partner at this point. So that's actually why I started Everest in the first place. Within the past year, my partner had developed a pretty serious scent allergy with like breathing problems, migraine problems, just issues that were not able to be solved really easily. And certainly I didn't want to keep creating breathing and headache problems for him anytime that I washed my hair. So that led me to looking up brands that offered fragrance free, which is how I found Everest. And so Everest they have two different formulas. They have one formula that is completely fragrance free. So you can use that if you have severe allergies, and that's what I started with him. And then they also have another formula. It's the same base formula, but they have it scented with essential oils only. And we found out that essential oils don't bother him. So that's an option for you. It smells really nice. It's a really light fragrance. It's like a citrusy, herby, earthy kind of fragrance that doesn't linger, but he actually really enjoys it. So if you are not sensitive to essential oils, you can use their regular scented formula. But if you are also sensitive to those, their fragrance-free option is amazing. And I find that many of the fragrance-free or cleaner brands, those are the ones who often offer fragrance-free sometimes. I was either having them leave my hair, like my scalp, really, really oily and not clean anything out, or some of the shampoos I had tried literally left my hair feeling like straw, like dry, brittle, horrible. So those were the kind of options I was dealing with trying to find something that was fragrance-free. So thankfully, Everest has a bunch of different options for people with those sensitivities, and even if you don't have the sensitivities, a great shampoo and conditioner overall in general. So usage-wise, I definitely prefer the tins over the tubes. I feel like the tubes are a little bit harder to use. As you get down to the end and I'm rolling them, I've had a couple of parts kind of like crack in here, so the product will just end up squirting out of the side as I'm rolling it down. Plus, you can kind of see, like, even if you roll it all the way, this whole section here never really gets depressed into the cap itself. So you either are wasting a lot of this product or you have to cut the tube and scoop it out, which gets a little bit tricky with a hard aluminum tube and water in the shower. So I prefer the tins, and I just like how easy that is to travel with. They do have like smaller sizes for travel, but the tins have been my go-to. Everest is definitely my favorite brand discovery of 2025. I've been using them almost exclusively for the past 8 months. I've tried a couple of other things, but almost exclusively for the past 8 months, and it has given me super shiny hair. It's kind of hard to tell in this light, but here's a clip of how shiny that it makes it when you can see like sun on me. And I've never been one to have shiny hair. I also feel like my scalp is really clean without being itchy or stripped, and I've experienced less hair fall. I'm assuming that's just because the formula is gentle while also still being effective, so that's pretty cool. Just so it's clear, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not being paid. They have sent me products in the past to try out, but I have also continued to purchase these on my own countless amounts of time. So just want to be clear, just sharing something that I love, even though I feel like all of my hair videos end up sounding like they're sponsored because I gush so much. I just am a big believer in sharing the things that really work for you because other people might be in the same boat. So that reminds me, you can find these products locally at some Whole Foods locations. At my Whole Foods location, they only have the tube kind. They don't have the fragrance-free or like the tins. But yours might have a different selection. If you are in New York City, the Detox Market also carries Everest. And then if you are in Canada, at the Health Hut. So those are some places that you can find them in store, and then obviously you can also shop on their website, and I have linked a discount code for you if you want to try it out via the website. Before I forget, I have also tried their body washes, which are absolutely incredible. I haven't tried the body oil yet, but that looks really good. I like the spray dispenser, and their hair towel is incredible. I've tried a couple different like microfiber soft hair towels, and theirs is by far my favorite, the softest, the plushiest. And it has this little loop on it so that you can secure it really easily. So let me know if you have tried any Everest products, which ones that you've loved, which ones that you would like to try out in the future. I would just love to know. So until next time, thank you guys so much for watching.